welcome back to the Side of Sauce podcast, the podcast where we talk about which toothpaste brand turns us on the most. Johnny, what toothpaste brand turns you on? For real
Nine out
talk.
of 10 dentists recommend Colgate, but I gotta tell you, man, that Listerine mouthwash, I just pour a little of that on my toothbrush. It
I
just,
I pour a little
I'll leave
bit.
the details, the rest of the details up to your imagination.
I do love that Colgate. It really makes my mouth tingle with excitement. You know what I'm saying? So it is now
How about you,
the.
Scully?
Yeah. What about you, Scully? What toothpaste brand turns you on the most?
God,
He's really thinking now. I
all
can
of them.
tell.
All of them? Jeez, Louise.
Yeah,
Bro said
all at once.
all I want, dude. Actually, for real, now I'm thinking about that. If you were to take every single toothpaste brand and put it on like one toothbrush and brush your teeth with it, that
Oh,
might
my health.
that would be your teeth might be invisible by the time you're done brushing. Like they might be gone. Like they might just look invisible. Like someone like you would smile
Wouldn't
and
be
you would
white.
see the
They'd have
back of
active
your
camo from
throat.
Halo. Yeah, yeah. You got active camo in your mouth, bro.
You got active camo in your mouth. It's and like you would see that, and some little kid would be screaming. They'd be like, "Holy shit, that guy doesn't have any teeth."
He's literally me.
But yeah, so it is now. It's been a while since we recorded. Last time we recorded was in 2023, some month ago. I think
Damn.
October probably.
We haven't recorded since last year.
Crazy.
Crazy. But now it is the year 2024, and we're back, and we're gonna be doing this shit. I guess we could do the obligatory kind of things that I like to do every year, where we talk about like our favorite games and movies of the year. I think we could start with probably video games. So video games, I probably have the most to say. Because the last year, 2023 with video games, was kind of insane and crazy. It was kind of like an amazing, fucking phenomenal year of video games, with also some
Yeah,
massive
there were plenty of
stinkers
good
in there.
games. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like with all the bad flops there was just so many other countless good indie titles and small titles and titles all around. They were just so good. It was like, yeah, maybe some of the big ones suck, but like, it just didn't even matter.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, what were some of your favorite video games of last year? I think you can extend to
Oh
like
God.
even like games you played for the first time that may not have came out in 2023. I also think that's
Let's
interesting.
see. Yeah, give me a second. I'm looking at my Steam right now.
That's so real. Because I'm trying to think what video games.
The
specifically-
remastered Dead Space, for instance, that was one that was really interesting.
Dead
That was
Space,
cool.
I
I
heard was
love Dead
fucking
Space.
awesome. I haven't played it
We
yet, but
got
it's on
Alan
my
Wake
list
2,
of
Armored Core. That was the one I was thinking. Armored Core. By God, was Armored Core great? I could play that
I
game
remember
so
you playing that for
hard.
so fucking long.
The
When that came
remaster
out.
of System Shock finally came out too that year,
Sick.
which was insanely fun and also highly anticipated. Let's see, what else we got? Payday 3 came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard that was pretty bad though.
Payday 3?
Damn, that's a shame.
Bad. Yeah,
That is a shame.
Really?
not Payday 2. Payday 2 is great.
Did you play Payday 3 yet?
I've played a little of it. It's all right.
It's not as good as 2, is it?
No, dude. 2 is something else, man.
2 is special.
God, 2 is special.
What about Payday 1? Is Payday 1 as good as 2, or is it like... Nah.
It's decently good, but 2 is the best by far.
Honestly, that's so real. I'm trying to think. Spider-Man 2 came out last year, and I do love that game. It's not perfect. It has a lot of flaws with it, but it's a very fun game. It's a very fun time if you don't really think about the plot too much.
Exactly. Like, it doesn't have to be a perfect game if you have a lot of fun with it. Like, and there is the exception. Like, if people try passing it off as if it's a perfect game and it's really flawed, that's one thing. But like, being able to play a game and like looking past its flaws, sometimes you can either get a better experience or story out of it if you just look past
I always have to
imperfections.
preference that because I remember when the Game Awards came out in like December, and it was Baldur's Gate 3 that won. I still have to play that game. That game looks awesome. I think that playing is gonna be fun. But when Baldur's Gate 3 won, it like a really annoying, obnoxious amount of like Spider-Man 2 fans came out of the woodworks and were like, "How the fuck did this
Best
video
game ever.
game beat Spider-Man
How
2?
dare you.
Spider-Man 2 is so awesome. I mean, look at all these combos I'm doing, and in Baldur's Gate 3, you're not even like doing combos. It's just like turn-based." And it's like, Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up.
Oh, Atomic Heart that came out last year.
Yeah,
That's
also
pretty...
Sons of the Force too.
Oh yeah, Atomic Heart. I forgot that.
The
Came
Sons
out.
of the Force comes out this year.
Which one?
Came out in 2023.
Well, yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't release from early access till like February 20th or something.
Oh, okay.
Which game?
I just
So
thought we hadn't got
technically,
around to it till this year because we're about to play it. I think this month, right?
oh yeah, this month February.
Huh?
Yeah, one of these days.
Which game?
Sons of the Forest.
Oh yeah.
It's like, yeah, the 23rd of February. No, wait,
Diablo
that's when
4
it
came
came
out
out.
too.
Gosh. Trying to think. What else? What else came out last year that I really played? I played
Did either of you play
Fortnite.
Diablo 4?
What?
Did either of you play Diablo 4? Sorry.
No, I haven't played Diablo 4. I haven't played any Diablo game, honestly.
They're pretty fun, honestly.
My dad
I
used to be
kind
big
of
into
picked.
them.
Oh yeah, Pikmin 4 came out too. What were you saying, James? Sorry.
I said my dad used to be really big into them. But I've never played
They
Diablo.
looked like a lot of fun. I played 3 again and again at the beginning so many times I kind of got burnt out, and I've just never touched one since, unfortunately.
2023 video games. I know it's not a 2023 video game, but I started playing Fortnite in 2023. And that's actually, I
Oh,
actually hate that I like that game a lot.
I don't hate that I like that game. That game's funny.
It is funny. It is a fun game. And
It-
I got into it like right when that new season, like Chapter 5 came out. Like that was when I got into it. And it's pretty fucking fun, dude.
Yeah, it's goofy as hell.
It's goofy as hell. I love the fact that you can watch Thanos gritty on Batman's corpse. That is so funny.
Yeah.
Did any of you guys play Starfield?
No.
Mike, you did, my little brother.
Starfield looks sick, honestly. I'm kind of upset that I haven't played it yet. But Starfield
Like I
looks
know it's
super
flawed
sick.
and full of shit, but like I do not care. It's so
It's
much to have fun playing.
listen, it's a Bethesda game.
Yeah.
You kind of have to expect some things with a Bethesda game. You know, you have
And
to
like
expect the
I'm
kinda
willing to look past the
jankiness. You
fact
gotta-
that it's gonna. I know it's not gonna give me like flight simulation, and it's not gonna give me all the things I'd want. I'm basically playing Fallout with a skin to make everything sci-fi, and that's been so I have fast travel instead of flying. And you know, I can honestly tolerate that because I like playing but Fallout games, and I like sci-fi way more than post-apocalyptic. So I'll live.
Real. Oh, Hogwarts Legacy came out last year. I totally forgot.
Yeah, that's right.
I forgot that game even came out. Honestly, I forgot about that game entirely. I remember having a lot of fun with it. I've never finished it. I got to like a certain point, and I was like, I think I have my fill, and then I just didn't pick it up. But it was a fun game. I don't. It's kind of crazy
Yeah,
how
really
much
fun
money
game.
that game made, but like, it was a fun game. It was alright. What else came out this year? It just a bunch of games I actually have not played, like Mortal Kombat 1, Street Fighter 6. Not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
That
pretty much the main ones. But it wasn't a bad year. Like
It was a
there's
great
there's
year.
some flops, sure. It's
The
pretty
only,
good.
But the only thing I could think of, like, one of the worst video games, like that Lord of Ring Golem, or
Oh no, did
Oh,
you see
God.
the Walking Dead one?
the Walking Dead one, where you have to like shoot. You have to. I've only ever seen a couple clips of it, but I remember there's like a boss fight in it. We have to shoot a guy like with a shotgun 6 times in the face for him to die.
Oh,
That is
God.
the
What about
funniest image
Redfall?
ever.
I was
Poor Redfall.
disappointed. Redfall didn't.
Same.
Redfall came out. That's a disappointingly bad game too, because Redfall looked cool, like from the trailers. Like it
Yeah,
looked like a
it
pretty
did.
sick video game, and then it just released in the worst possible state it could have.
It was a shame.
And plus, it's trying to be another looter shooter, which is honestly, I'm tired of those kind of games already. I've only played a couple of them, and I'm tired of it.
Literally,
looter
Destiny
shooters
has
just-
traumatized me from that. If I play a looter shooter, I just don't have a good time at this point. It's like, bro,
And that's
Looter
Or-
shooters just take too much time to complete. Like, I don't know why every developer is deciding to make one. Like, I just simply don't have the time
You know
to
what's a good
play. Like,
segue?
I barely have enough time for Destiny 2,
This is a good segue
and like
into,
everyone's trying to make one.
This is a good segue into Did you guys hear about the controversy with the Suicide Squad kill the Justice League?
Oh yeah.
That
I didn't actually
that
know.
train wreck of
I
a
heard
game.
like people got mad about it and stuff, but I don't know what for.
I haven't played the game yet because it is a $70 video game, and your boy is broke as fuck right now. But like,
Real.
there's a bunch of shit that happened with that game. So here's a detailed list. So before the game even launched, you could pay, I think it was like $100 for like the Ultimate Edition, and you got to play the game early access, like
Mhm.
3 or
Nice.
5 days early, something like that.
3.
Wow.
3 days early. But when
3 days early.
yeah, you get to pay it 3 days early. I know, it's so fucking awesome. You get to play 3 days before everyone else. But you both have to be online at all times, and when they logged in to play the game, they instantly unlocked everything, and then they would complete the
Yeah,
game.
because there was a
It
bug.
was a bug. It was crazy.
Bruh.
They had to shut it down like almost immediately, and like so basically you paid to play the game early for nothing. I don't even think they got
That's some
refunds
bullshit.
for that. I think they still paid like the full $100, which is in fucking.
They did kind of get a refund. They gave them $20 of premium currency if you bought the
Bruh.
like super edition.
Oh my god,
$20.
But
$20.
like $20 of premium currency, man, I'm like, I don't know.
And
It doesn't really seem worth
Maddie,
it.
do you know what happens in that game? Like, have you seen the cutscenes and like all that, or just know the plot?
I haven't, but I know it's pretty bad. I've
Okay,
heard that you just like shoot Superman to death.
okay, because I don't. Do you care if I spoil it?
I
Nope.
do because like one day when it goes on super sale, I'm gonna play it. I
Okay.
just when it goes on sale like $10, I'll grab it and see
Okay.
what it's,
Well,
it's
then
all about.
I just want to make sure. So I'm gonna do my best not to spoil it. But yeah, basically, and then the whole argument is a lot of people have a very issue with what the game is even based around, and some of the decisions they do to kill for characters in that game. And honestly, I can kind of understand where some of them come from, but at the same time, I think if it wasn't set in the Arkham universe, I think people would be a lot more forgiving of it.
There's a lot of things Arkham related they don't like, or
I think
things that
it's-
they
I
do
think
that
it's-
the Arkham universe
It's
wouldn't
I think
have.
they're upset of the events of the game that happened, and specifically because it's in the Arkham universe. I think if it was like an Elseworld story where it's its own universe and it wasn't connected to anything, people would probably be more kind to it and wouldn't care as much. But specifically because
Yeah.
it's in the Arkham universe, people are like, "What the fuck?" And honestly, I
A
can
They
kind
kinda
of
messed with
understand that,
people
and I can
dying.
kind of
Tying two
get
things
that.
together that shouldn't be tied together.
What?
A classic case of people forcing two franchises like we're like they're not
Honestly,
in the same universe per se, but like they got forced into the same universe essentially
really,
now.
it really doesn't even make sense how this game is even in the Arkham universe. Is it? Wasn't the last Arkham game Batman Quits?
He does, yeah,
Yeah.
and he also gets his identity as Bruce Wayne revealed at the end of the last one.
And this is
So he like
allegedly
he
takes.
goes
Yeah.
he goes to Wayne Manor and he like blows up inside of it, but I think he survives. I think it's like revealed in a end cutscene that he survives. But like yeah, he's revealed as Bruce Wayne and then he quits and blows up Wayne Manor and stuff.
Which is crazy to me because it's like. So this guy quits, blows up Wayne Manor, somehow survives, but then decides to join the Justice League afterwards?
Yeah.
Like, huh? Also, I will
No,
say,
it
this
is.
isn't a spoiler, but the lineup for their Justice League fucking sucks, dude. Like,
Oh, they have Superman,
they have
Flash,
well, it's
Green
to me, when I
Lantern.
think of the Justice League, I think of like a giant ensemble of cast, and this is only the Flash, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman. That's it.
I mean, that's not terrible. I want to say
It's
that's
not
great.
the
It's
worst in
definitely
the
not,
world,
but
like for a game about Justice League members, I would assume there would be more. Like, why isn't like Aquaman
yeah.
at the very
I heard the
least?
boss fights are pretty bad. If they were better, I guess I could forgive fewer Justice League members, but I hear Superman particularly has a bad
Yeah,
boss fight.
I've seen the Superman
Shoot
boss
him with
fight.
regular bullets.
It's particularly bad.
Yeah. I think all of them, you're just shooting them with guns.
My biggest problem too with the game, from a gameplay standpoint, from what I've seen, is that every single member of the Suicide Squad uses guns. Like, why is Captain Boomerang using guns, dude? I think it would be way more
Yeah.
creative and interesting if, like, each of them had, like, different weapons they would use and not just use a gun. Like, Deadshot, that makes sense. Harley kind of makes sense. But why is Captain Boomerang using a gun? Why is King Shark using a gun? He's King Shark.
Yeah. It's like it's basically like they wanted to make a 4-person looter shooter and they realized, oh, half of these people we chose won't use this gear, so let's just make them use it.
It would
It's
be.
like
Yeah.
they choose the premise and then they decided the game. They're like, they didn't plan these things out.
It really does feel like that. It's almost like if you gave Flash an AK-47 and then just let him loose. It's
Dude,
like,
imagine
why does
he's
Flash
running.
have an AK-47?
How fast would his bullets go though? If he's already running and he shoots while he's running, those bullets would be insanely fast.
You would think, yeah.
It would.
That's such a ridiculous concept. I would love that as like a fucking stupid ass Flash game. Flash with a fucking
Got
gun.
two Mac 11s.
Oh my god. But yeah, that. And I feel so bad, kind of, for Rocksteady because they developed this game for 9 years, and this is the game that they came out with it though, and it's like,
Yeah. Like what
Yeah.
happened?
like what happened, dude? What happened?
Clearly there were some things going on, like right, like. But you guys just like if there at least if it's like okay yeah we weren't really actually working for 9 years, most of the time we were just twiddling our thumbs. We spent about 2 years on development. I'd be like okay, shitty but understandable. You know, if they're like yeah we kept having to work on other projects and this was a side thing even though it was supposed to be our main goal, okay I get that, but like yeah what the hell happened, like this makes no sense.
I'm also looking at some some gameplay of this, dude. One thing I will say, the UI in this game fucking sucks. This is just a hodgepodge garbage of pile of shit. Like they just
They got that Ubisoft
this,
UI.
yeah, that's what I'm about to say. This is the Ubisoft UI, where just a bunch of shit thrown on screen, and you can barely tell what the hell any of this shit is. What
God.
the fuck is this?
Brings you back to 4-player split screen when you had like a map, your ammo counter, your thing, and at that point you literally couldn't see shit because like your fucking map took up like a fourth of your little
Yeah.
screen.
Like this, like your UI takes up like I feel like what it looks like 40% of the screen, and like, what the fuck, dude?
Oh
Yeah,
man,
dude.
speaking of bad Ubisoft UI, I've been playing Ghost Recon Breakpoint recently, which it's an alright game. Story's pretty bad. Really only the fun part of it is the gameplay. Pretty much everything else is bad. But dude, that UI, like I opened the menus and I just like swore out loud, dude. Like you could do like one of those hour-long like video essays on the Ubisoft Breakpoint UI, dude.
Dude,
That shit is
there is
gross.
there is something to like. I just need developers to get UI down because UI is so important to a video game.
Crucial.
And I feel like a lot of them nowadays are kind of sucking. Like they're suffering from like either two symptoms, like the super minimalist, or it's like I can almost barely tell what I have, or they just don't show it at all, or it's just over cluttered and it's just everything is on screen. You need to know everything at all times, and it's like I don't need all this shit on screen. Let me see the fucking video game, please.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably got to be some reason why. Maybe do they like? People are-
there's a reason because I'm pretty sure because they have to test.
Yeah,
this
probably
shit.
a reason. I don't know why.
It's probably like test the test people that they tested on, and they're like are too stupid to understand, or they just think people are too stupid to like they need to see this shit all the fucking time or else they're gonna complain. You know, I could
Or
definitely
could
see
they be? Could it be that we're too spoiled? Like
that.
we played so many games with good user interfaces. Ones that in the past would hold up are now considered ass.
I think I don't know because I just also recently was playing Elden Ring again for like the first time in a year, and Elden Ring's UI
Yeah.
is pretty damn good.
It's good.
Like it's good. And
But
it's really
Dark Souls has used pretty much the same exact interface type thing for the past however long. Like it's if you play Dark Souls, you'll be able to pick it up almost immediately because maybe it's a different game, maybe there's different mechanics, and the numbers might be different. But at the end of the day, there are literally countless enemies in Elden Ring that are directly from Demon Souls, the pre-game to Dark Souls. Like they use the same mechanics, so they've had this developed for like 20 plus years.
yeah. 'cause they
Same with
had a
Armored
jetpack.
Core. There's a reason Armored Core is so good is because they've been doing this franchise for forever. Granted, they haven't done shit with it since now, but like, I almost feel like they don't even get the excuse because they've had this thing worked out for like 20 years.
Real. But yeah, that is just. I like how we all like collectively know Ubisoft has like fucking shitty UI too.
Oh God, Ubisoft.
For real,
God.
like the Assassin's Creed type of UI shit. Like, I
Where
could play
or I'll tell you what I hate more though, honestly, is the old Call of Duties where everything just got gray
oh yeah, I hate
and
that
like
shit. So,
greeny gray, like, and everything just felt washed. Like every game was the same looking. It just looked kind of drab.
I will say that like Call of Duty really did suffer from that the most, where everything was gray and blue. It felt like, but mostly gray. Gray, brown, and blue were like the only colors in those games, and everything just looked the fucking same. I bet you anything.
Yeah.
If you just showed me like
Everything looked like a flashback scene.
if you just showed me like a picture of like 3 different Call of Duty games that were like years back to back to back, I wouldn't be able to fucking tell you which game went to which. They all look the fucking same.
Honestly, same dude.
That is the big problem with it. Like, and I'm thinking about other franchises that kind of have like the same problem, where it's like, oh, you know, they release it's only like a year release apart, and like they all kind of like play the same. Because I'm thinking like Pokemon, but I'm also like at least Pokemon kind of looks different between each game. You know, you could kind of tell the difference.
You know Pokemon. I don't know
That's
Pokemon,
fair.
and to me, they
That's
all look the same.
That's
I've had
fair.
the same question with Madden where I have with Pokemon. Because to me, it'd be like if a new Elden Ring came out every year, you'd be like, Johnny, how can you play a new Elden Ring every year? There's so much content in the last one. It looks the same as the last Dark Souls game. That's how I feel like. But to a Souls fan, I'm like, oh my god, there's so much difference. The hit different, box is different. Look, like.
That's fair. That's fair. I will agree that I'm probably like very heavily biased when I said that, but I still kind of feel that because at least
They do have
Pokemon
more
has,
difference
like,
than
slight
Assassin's
different
Creed
art
games.
styles for each game. Like they're different, and you can kind of tell when
And
looking at it.
different focuses too.
But like Call of Duty doesn't. Call of Duty just tries to be real.
And also, doesn't Pokemon make 2 games pretty much at the same time? Each time it's like
Well,
Diamond and Shield, Green and Blue. So it's like,
It's basically just one game, but with like very slight differences, which I will say is actually worse because you have to buy
Yeah, I was
2
gonna say, that sounds
versions
worse.
of basically the same game to get the full experience, which is, whew, that is greedy as fuck.
why? What is the different experience say between like
'Cause it was
Shield and
supposed-
Sword,
'cause
whatever it was?
It was originally like they originally made those kind of things because when it was made back in like the Game Boy days, it was meant to like,
Mhm.
oh, you go and like hang out with your friend, and like that way you guys can like connect, and you would have to buy like this cable in order to like trade and play together, and that's why they would do that.
That's
and then
cool.
it's just a tradition that's been like kept going, and thankfully they've been
So,
kind
like,
of slowing down on it. Like it isn't.
What's
like,
the main difference though? You said there's like, I was curious what the features were. So like, is it like different characters will show up or different creatures are in different games? Like different Pokemon's in this one?
Yeah, some Pokemon are exclusive to one game, and some Pokemon will like spawn differently. Sometimes there's
Okay.
like different characters in each of them, but they like
It's
the
not the
different
same.
characters
Each one's just totally different.
Yeah,
Like
but-
it could be some similar, some are less similar.
yeah.
I got you.
Pokemon's very greedy recently.
Yeah, Nintendo.
It's not even specifically Nintendo because Nintendo only owns like the right, like they own like a third of the rights. It's mainly like their actual like developers like Game Freak, or like what the fuck.
Really?
Yeah,
I always associate Nintendo as being the company that like always wants to lock down people for pirating quote unquote games that are like 40 years old. They refuse to re-release and stuff.
that is another thing in my mind. If you like, why limit these games to like specific systems that people can't own anymore?
So haven't they actually fixed that though? Because last time I was on the eShop, because one of those things that I've refused to stop
They've-
paying for is
They've done some
Switch
of it,
Live,
but there's still a
and
lot
like
of
they have
games.
like a whole box. They have like a whole thing where it's like emulator, where it was like you could just download the whole collection of like this series or that series, and have like pretty much all the major releases.
Some of them have like there's only some games for them, mainly like
Oh,
like
so they don't
the
have all
big
of them?
popular ones. But some of them, even like Pokemon,
Mm,
like you still can't get a majority of those games on like
That's
access
ass.
anywhere. Like unless you have like a Game Boy Advance or a GameCube Color or just a regular game,
ugh.
not a GameCube Color, a Game Boy Color or like a regular Game Boy or a DS or a 3DS. Like you're not gonna be able to play a lot of those games.
That sucks.
Legally speaking, I would never promote, going on the internet and pirating. Except I would do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't promote it. I would just encourage it.
I would specifically not, leave links to places where you can sail the high seas. But yeah, to me
Sail the
specifically, me
sea.
personally, it's like if you're not going to release a game that you can buy
Yeah.
with easy access, you might as well just fucking pirate it, dude. Like
I mean,
They
to
don't
be
want the
fair, if like if a bad person, if there was a bad, terrible person, like I don't know, using like a terrible like example, like if some like terrorist leader created a great movie that I thought was cool, I 100% wouldn't buy it from them though. I would pirate it because I wouldn't want to support them in any way.
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
there is like if I was like, man, I really want to see this movie and see what it's about, but I do not want to support this bad person because he's a murderer. I'm gonna, I wouldn't. It's same with like a YouTuber. If it's someone that's promoting like shit I don't support, I'll watch someone's video on it so I don't have to watch the video and support it.
That's a very fair. Yeah, that's very fair. Man, just I can't understand. I can't fathom the idea of like why they wouldn't re-release these games or just have them easily accessible to me because that's just free money. Like,
Yeah, Nintendo fans are definitely willing to pay for it.
yeah, Nintendo fans are willing to pay for it, and it's just right there. Like all you got to do is basically put like an emulation essentially, and just make people pay for it. People will pay like $30 for it, and they'll easily happily.
And
do
the,
it.
the truth is, they could easily outsource the work to get this
Yeah.
done. They could find like if they want, because a lot of I'm sure like I don't know how I know the West because I live in America, so like I'm sure they could find some if Nintendo's not doesn't have a central base in America, they could find some team out here and have them do a bunch of these games that these are ones that are popular in America that people are crying for us to re-release. I want you guys to work on these games being emulations or whatever, and have some American people do the translations and shit, and then solve their problems and make free money.
Yeah, it's basically free money at this point, but they just don't do it for whatever reason. So honestly, just fucking emulate that shit.
Honestly, for real.
For real, but I think that's our emulation topic. Keeping on track with video games for a little bit. The last thing for video games I think we could talk about is 2024 is here. Are there any video games you guys are looking forward to in our Lord and Savior year 2024?
Well, Sons of the Forest, obviously. But-
Helldivers 2. I'm really hyped for that.
That comes out this
Which
month,
one?
right?
Comes out tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Yeah.
What comes out tomorrow?
Helldivers.
Helldivers 2.
That
Oh,
game actually is
shit.
pretty sick. Yeah, I won't lie.
Yeah, it does.
Because it's a four-person versus like a swarm, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That game looks sick.
It looked mad. Well,
I want to check it out, see if it's cross-platform.
Between PS5 and PC, yes.
Oh shit, real? Dude.
Yeah.
We could play. We could be on that shit.
Oh no, I'm excited. I've already gotten multiple of my friends excited for it too. So
I never
No.
played the original Helldiver, but I heard like a lot of good things about it. And
it's pretty fun. The original one's got the Diablo perspective, like the top-down one, though, whereas this one's third person.
No, okay.
like a third-person shooter.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I've seen like the main trailer, and that looked cool, but I don't remember much of any gameplay stuff they showed any.
But yeah,
Okay, that'd be cool.
we definitely gotta be hopping on Helldivers too. But are there any other games? Cause I'm also excited for games like Star Wars Outlaw.
Oh, that does look cool.
Yeah, that open world Ubisoft game. So it's probably gonna have a shitty UI, but it's
We can
probably-
hope.
It's probably gonna be at least fun.
Hopefully. I mean, I'm hopeful. I'm always one for hoping for the best.
I'm hoping for the best for it. I'm hoping it's gonna be it's probably gonna be the best Star Wars thing to come out in a while, but man, thinking about Star Wars
I
just
can't
makes me
think
get
of many
depressed.
other games.
Another game I'm excited for. I'm trying to think what else. Other than the obvious, I'm pretty excited for that new Sonic game that was just announced at the last State of Play. So
I
there's
could-
that.
I could imagine.
But honestly,
What was I gonna say?
I'm thinking about it. There's not many video games that we can really think of that are coming out this year that I'm super excited for.
Edit this part out, James. But next time, what we should just do is have a list of topics to cover, and then we can do the research beforehand, each of us, and have our own stuff.
You think we should do that? Okay.
Honestly, I think because instead of us researching right now, it would save so much time and make it way better. If I had just known what games to mention, then
Okay.
I feel like I'm not blaming you or anything. It's all of me and Maddie too are just as much to blame.
I am blaming him.
And you
No,
guys
actually,
would, honestly.
and now that Maddie is, I'll blame him too.
Fuck you.
No, but seriously. What was you saying, James? I forgot.
I was saying, I'm trying to think what else. I can't even remember what I was fucking on about. I'm trying to think about, there's not a whole lot of games coming out this year. It feels like there's kind of a drought. Yeah,
necessarily a drought,
not a
even.
drought, but like maybe just because there's not many video games that I'm personally interested in.
That's what I was gonna say. There's just I'm not even focusing on games at this point.
Oh,
So like, whenever I see one that has to really stand out,
um,
That new Indiana Jones comes out this year.
oh yeah,
that does look
Indiana
interesting.
Jones. I forgot what
I
it was
think it's
called.
unfortunately I think it's gonna be pretty bad, but
I don't think it's gonna be bad.
Made by the
I don't
people
know,
who made
man.
the Wolfenstein games. I got
I
high
know.
hopes.
Isn't it being made by
I'm
Bethesda?
hopeful, but
It's published by
Okay, it's published
Bethesda.
by Bethesda.
It's being made by Machine Games, I believe,
Hmm.
which is who
And
did
you know what? I will
Wolfenstein.
actually applaud them because it's a first person game, right? Everyone thought it was gonna be
yeah,
a
which is
third
what I'd
person
want.
action adventure in like Nathan Drake style or Lara Croft
Boring.
Tomb Raider. But like I actually applaud them. Like a first person Indiana Jones game actually seems pretty sick. That's pretty cool.
It's what I would have wanted. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't want a third person one.
I
So
wouldn't have mind if it was third person, but like first person, actually like that choice. I actually think it's really cool. I'm excited, and like the little
I
gameplay we
really
saw
am like
looks pretty
boomer
good.
brain, but I just like first person so much more, man.
I
At this point, I like first person so much more.
I can see appeals to both of them. I think for shooters, I definitely prefer first person, but like I do like the idea of like it being third person and you can see your character at all times and you can have like cool customization for them. But like Indiana
That would be
Jones,
cool.
you don't really need anything for like that. So like putting him in first person, I feel like actually just opens up more opportunities.
Makes you feel like an adventure instead of like because you don't need a mess. You're not worried about your customization of
You're
Indy
not
because
worried
Indy
about what
looks
Indiana
like
Jones looks like. You're like that.
a middle-aged professor.
Yeah, you know what he looks like. He looks like Harrison Ford. So like, yeah, I think it ultimately just opens up more possibilities for the game. So I'm actually pretty excited. One thing I remember from the trailer specifically is like there was like a really cool moment where they edit the Indiana Jones theme to like him punching the soldiers, and it's like in sync with one another. And I thought that shit was really cool.
That's perfect.
I
Yeah,
love
that shit
I
gives
love
you the
cheesy
chills.
corny shit like that, dude. That shit's awesome. Like I personally don't have like a super nostalgic attachment to Indiana Jones. Like I saw one of them, and I thought it was pretty fun. I haven't seen the rest of them. I probably should. But even me, I was like, dude, that got me a little giddy because I was like, that's cool. That's fucking neat, dude.
He's literally me
He's literally me.
punching people.
Another game
Bad
this year
guys
that
fight.
I'm excited for. I've heard a lot of discussions around Pow World. If you guys ever heard of that game.
My girlfriend is playing Power World. She
Okay.
loves Power World. She's been playing it nonstop lately. Yeah.
Because I saw it and I was like, this looks interesting. There's a lot of controversy around it, but it's not like super interesting. It's just like, this Pokemon looks like this Pow looks like this Pokemon, and like sometimes it's true, but like most of the time they're kind of stretching. I feel
Yeah.
like.
It's like they definitely are inspired in part by Pokemon, but it's the same thing as saying Star Wars, Star Trek, or
I will
ripoffs,
say a lot of
whatever.
the
Like,
pals kind of look uninspired, like they kind of look very bland, and
Mhm.
and for me, who has like a lot of interest in like creature and monster design, like 90% of them are kind of disappointing looking, and they don't kind of fit the style that the game is going for. But as long as the game is fun, I think it will kind of make up for it. So hopefully,
I think
soon I'll
that's
be able
the
to play
thing.
it.
Yeah. Because like you could do a lot of weird things with them. I think it's the gameplay mechanics, things you couldn't do in Pokemon games, like
Yeah.
give them guns. I know monkeys, there's guns you can give to like the little
Yeah.
chimps,
I see the little monkey.
and they
thing that
literally
looks
shoot
funny.
stuff, and I was like, bro, that is so cute.
I know there's like a rocket
going
launcher that
ham.
you shoot a penguin with. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yes, he going ham, bro. He going to
But yeah.
town on him.
That game looked pretty interesting, and I'm gonna try it out. I'm not gonna definitely just write it off, but I'm gonna try it out and see how it is. Hopefully, maybe next podcast I might have something to say about it. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much
Look
all I
forward to
really
hearing
have to say about video games for this upcoming year. Unless you guys have something more.
No, I think that's all I had to say.
Okay. Another good year for 2023 is movies, though. I guess we definitely have a lot to say about movies, probably. I saw,
Oh yeah.
and especially these upcoming movies this year. There's one in particular that I really want to talk about, and I think Johnny knows what it is because we talked
Monkey
about it last
Man, yeah.
time. Monkey Man, dude, that shit looks fucking awesome.
Matt, have you seen the trailer for that?
I have not.
Monkey Man,
Go
dude,
look up Monkey Man. We'll take an intercession real quick.
dude, yeah.
That is the hardest trailer I've ever seen.
Dude, Monkey
Alright,
Man
let me
is
see.
like if John Wick is like John Wick, but like even cooler.
Indian.
Yeah,
It's like Indian John Wick.
Indian John
Just
Wick.
watch the trailer. Don't. We'll shut up. We'll shut up. Let you watch the trailer. This shit is so fire, dude. When I first saw it, I like literally was like almost stood up in my chair. I was like, bro, this is Awesome.
Someone's.
I cannot wait.
I saw it on like a YouTube short, and then I looked up the trailer, dude. So fucking excited. I cannot wait to see it, dude. I guess while he's doing that, we can like he can probably just quiet us. But while he's
No,
doing
no, he needs the full experience. Yeah, he needs to silence us so we can get the full experience.
that's what I'm saying. Silence us, Maddie, if you can. But like, for like, you want to talk about 2023's movies real quick? Because we actually did have like a lot of good ones last year.
We did have a fair amount of good movies.
Let's try to start with some of the good ones that we can like think of off the top of our heads. First two that immediately come to mind that define 2023 are Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Yes.
You know, it's a little bit of a meme, but like, the Barbenheimer probably was like the most culturally impactful thing that happened in 2023. Everybody went to go see those two movies. I feel like everybody was.
Everyone did pretty much.
And you know
Pretty
what?
much everyone
I
did.
will say, I'm glad that both of those movies are probably about equally as good as I would say. I think Oppenheimer is better, a little bit better, but I would think they're probably on like the same tier. Like they're definitely like both like Barbie's definitely not
Both
slacking.
busted.
What'd you say?
Is it they're both busted, like, but they're both like these spectacular like visual things, different vibes, but still.
Different vibes, and they
nonetheless.
definitely both serve very different purposes. But they're both very good. I would probably give Oppenheimer like a 9, and I give Barbie like an 8. Something close to that, because they're both very good.
Yeah.
I think Oppenheimer.
Good.
Oppenheimer is definitely like one of my top 3 favorite movies of last year. I think probably number 2, right behind Godzilla -1.
That was a good one too.
Godzilla -1 is fucking stupendously good. It is amazing how fucking amazing that movie is. It is the same thing as like Puss in Boots 2, you know? Where it's like, this movie did not need to go this fucking hard. I saw that movie 3 times. That's
I
how
feel
fucking
that,
good it
dude.
is. I saw it first when it first like came out, and then I went to go see it with a buddy of mine, Xavier, who's been on the podcast before, so he probably won't mind me shouting him out. And then I went to go see it again with my girlfriend again. We saw it the black and white version, 4DX, so like the seats would move around. Funny thing about that, there's a scene in the middle of the movie where like Godzilla goes to like Tokyo and like just starts destroying buildings. So obviously the seats are like fucking shaking you around like a madman, like a fucking. And there was a guy in front of us, dude. This dude in front of us was the funniest fucking dude ever. Because he kept flinging his arms everywhere and kept like almost falling out of the seat. He had to like pick himself up a couple times. It was the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. The only thing that would make it better if he had like a big bucket of popcorn and it was just flinging it everywhere. That would make it awesome.
You just make him knock it all over the place, make an absolute mess.
That would be fucking amazing, dude. Honest to God. What was
The Last Voyage of the Demeter was a cool movie too.
Which one?
It wasn't anything special. That was the vampire one. The Last Voyage of the Demeter. That was pretty fun though.
That was the one on the boat, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Based off the part in Dracula.
Dude, that movie looked really cool. I just didn't have time to see it when it came out. But I do want to see it. It's
let me
like a
feel
pretty
that.
interesting movie. Pretty interesting premise too, like on a boat with a vampire.
Yeah, and they did it pretty well too.
What else came out last year? I'm trying to think what other sick ass movies came out last year.
Hunger Games Ballad thing came out, and that was pretty good. People said.
The Hunger Games movie. I forgot.
I didn't see it though.
Movies. 2023. Did you see any of the other Hunger
The
Games
FNAF
movies?
movie.
Oh, the FNAF
Not
movie.
really. I don't think.
Yeah.
Trying to find movies. I can't really find many that came out last year.
The Spider-Verse came out last year. Guardians 3.
Oh yeah, it did.
Guardians 3 probably is my second favorite movie. Actually, now that I think about it, that came out last year. Because Guardians 3 is phenomenal, dude.
It was good.
It is probably.
Didn't
Huh? What were you gonna say?
Didn't John Wick 4 also come out last year? I think.
Yes, it did.
I don't know.
I do remember John Wick 4 did come out last year.
The Creator was a good movie last year. That was a really good
I
movie.
heard so many good things about it, and I was so upset that I didn't get to see it.
You guys need to see it. I'm telling you, it looks so cool. You
It
know, it's
does.
funny. You know those buckles, those Fidlock buckles? I saw them all in the movie. They were using that shit on everything.
it, it gives me. It's not literally. It doesn't literally look like it, but it kind of gives me the vibes of fuck. What's the name of that art book that I have? Tales from the Loop.
A bit. It reminded. It's by the same dude that did Rogue One, like the guy that did like the visual for Rogue One. I think it's the director, whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
it very much feels like imagine a sci-fi set or sci-fi version of Vietnam type, where it's this like tropic area where there's forces that really aren't supposed to be there, and they're like damaging the natives' life and everything. But with AI and all sorts of cool shit in the future.
Hell
But it
yeah,
was
dude.
very much like a almost like a not a because it wasn't like a Vietnam at the same time, but it had that vibe like where they're in doing bad shit, trying to justify it as the righteous cause. It was so cool though, the movie.
Honestly, yeah, that movie looks sick from what I saw. Like
Oh,
the
the boy and
trailer.
the heron. I do want to see
Oh,
that
the
too.
Boy
Oh,
and the
sorry.
Heron.
Yeah.
That's funny to me because I've actually never seen a studio. I don't think I've ever seen a Studio Ghibli movie. No, I haven't. It just I don't know. I just when I was a kid, it
Have you
just
seen
never.
Spirited Away?
No, I haven't actually.
That one's really good. That's the only one I think I've seen, but it's really good. I know
That's what everyone
most of them are
comparing.
really
That's
well.
what everyone's comparing the Boy and the Heron to. It's like like oh, it's like Spirited Away almost. Like, I don't know. I've never seen it. But I'm actually kind of hoping to change that this year. I'm gonna try to watch Studio Ghibli movies because I've heard they're really good. I've heard they're amazing. I have my expectations and hopes up. Ugh. And I'm also trying to think what else. Spider Verse. Spider Verse came out this year.
Spider-Verse. So
Yeah,
did the D&D movie.
the D&D movie. D&D movie is weird because I feel like that movie's kind of underrated. Because that movie was
I
actually pretty
never
fun.
saw it.
That movie's pretty fun. That movie is like a popcorn movie, but like it's actually like a really solid, fun popcorn movie. More than like most other ones, I would say. Like it's just a really fun time. It's a really good time. Like I could really put that movie on at almost any time and just look at it. And
Enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy it. I'm trying to think what else. Argyle didn't come out last year, right? That's
No, that just came out this
yeah,
year.
it just came out this year. I didn't remember if it did or not.
What about Blue Beetle? I think you talked about Blue
Oh,
Beetle.
Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle was awesome, dude. I'm really upset how underrated Blue Beetle was, but like Blue Beetle was fucking sick. Blue Beetle. I'm trying to just think of how I would describe it because it's not very. It's kind of like a Spider-Man esque kind of movie, and I don't know if people are gonna understand what I mean when I
I
say
kind of
that.
get what you mean.
It's a
Young
very
kid finding
simple,
himself,
down
but
to
he's
ground,
like
like
going
down
through a
to
lot.
earth kind of superhero movie, and it's like it has very. I'd probably have to sit there and think about it for a minute. But Blue Beetle is fucking awesome. I would definitely recommend everyone to go see it. It is
Okay.
probably I would say the second best. No, it's the. It sucks because Guardians 2 and Spider Verse came out this year, and those are two fucking phenomenal movies. But it is definitely like the third best superhero movie that came out this year, and it's like the best
What about
DC.
Cocaine Bear?
Cocaine Bear. That came out this year. I mean, last year.
2023?
You're right. You're right. Cocaine Bear was awesome. I don't care what people say. Cocaine Bear was awesome. Cocaine Bear is fun. Cocaine Bear is stupid fun.
It was funny looking. I didn't see it, but I still need to see it.
Cocaine Bear is a stupid fun movie. It has like surprisingly good effects, and it's just kind of like I'll see that once in my lifetime, and that was kind of a funny absurd movie, and then like never again. It was pretty fun, I would say. I remember when I went to go see it, they gave me free gummy bears for our movie. And I thought that was pretty fun.
So,
That was pretty basic.
hell of happy.
Yeah, hell yeah. Are there any movies coming out this year that you're kind of excited for?
Monkey Man, obviously.
The Monkey Man, obviously.
Oh, give me a second. Yeah, there is a
Sonic
couple
3,
that keep
baby!
trying. Sonic 3.
Oh yeah!
Alright. Movies coming out this year that I am interested to see. I want to see the Lisa Frankenstein movie. I want to see Dune Part 2.
Dune Part 2.
Kind of want to see Monkey Man just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Want to see the movie The Ghostbuster Frozen Empire, but I have to see the first one before I decide if I want to see the second one. But
Wait, the first. Are you talking about the first new one?
oh,
Or
the reboot.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, the reboot with like the kids.
That one, I saw that movie in theaters. That movie's actually pretty good. It's not gonna blow
Yeah, it
your
didn't look
socks
bad.
off, but like, that was pretty fun.
It looked good enough. Not Civil War.
Oh yeah,
That one looks
that
interesting.
one looks pretty cool. The most unrealistic part of that movie is the fact that Texas and California are working together.
Yeah, I was like, I literally busted. I was like, bro, there ain't no way those two people, even if it was to their own benefit, they would kill each other.
Like, Texas and California is like the most iconic American rivalry of all time. Like, no fucking way those two would work together.
That's crazy. Argyle was a very good movie though. I saw that twice. and I
Argyle was fun.
loved it.
I would say it's a fun movie.
Yeah, it's not like quality. It's fun, but like it's a very fun popcorn movie.
It's a very fun popcorn movie. It is. I don't know. I'm so confused by the ending too, but I don't want to spoil it.
I think you're supposed to be. I think that's the best part that I'm just like, bro, wait a second, what?
I didn't remember seeing this. So I was like, yeah. I don't want to spoil it too much because it literally just came out, and Maddie's here, and I don't think he's seen it yet, so I'm not gonna spoil it for him.
I saw Beekeeper, and that was, it was I guess. It wasn't
Beekeeper.
anything interesting.
Was like a fun popcorn movie.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It was a fun popcorn movie, but like, it wasn't that deep or anything.
Mhm.
It was like John Wick again, like another typical, this one man that can take down a whole fucking country type. But he's on a vengeful mission of justice or whatever he sees as justice.
Man, that's gonna
That
that's
should
gonna
be
the fight of the century: Beekeeper versus Monkey Man.
That would be such a great fight.
It'd be such a good fight, dude. Like, I know I'm gonna talk about Monkey Man again. I know we're veering off track, but like, that trailer was so fucking awesome. Like, I love near the end of the trailer they had like a scene in the kitchen, like it's a fight scene, and it's like a really good long one take of a fight scene in the kitchen, and it looks so good, dude.
All the fights look so well choreographed, and they're just so brutal.
They are so.
There's a new Godzilla movie coming out in March.
Godzilla X Kong in March. I forgot, dude. But that you got this like legendary MonsterVerse Godzilla movies are some of my favorite popcorn movies, dude. Like, they are so fun. Like, they're not that
Fall Guy
great,
comes out this
but
year
like
too.
they are so fun. I just love watching monsters beat the shit out of each other.
Monster fight is fun.
I love watching Godzilla and Kong plow on the big screen, dude. I fucking love it.
For real. The two movies I just found, Fall Guy comes out this year, and so does Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh yeah, I remember us talking about Planet of the Apes.
Oh, Furiosa comes out. I'm absolutely seeing that too. The most recent Mad Max movie is probably the best one yet, in my opinion. Honestly, of all of them.
Honestly, I can agree with that. Yeah. And then they're making another one too. I wanted to talk about Kingdom Planet of the Apes because I actually never seen Planet of the Apes, but then I found out recently that like the recent trilogy was made by Matt Reeves, like the same guy who did the Batman.
Mhm.
And so I'm now like super excited and interested to like watch the movie.
It's a cool story. I only saw one of them in theaters. I think it's the only one I've seen. And it was like after the war, the humans are trying to eradicate the apes and whatnot that are left. And it was pretty cool.
Yeah, dude.
I really liked it. I want to see the rest of them.
I might have to edit this part real quick because Drifter is like going crazy over here.
Bro, let bro on the mic. Come on, he's got something to spit.
Borderlands movie comes out this year, and so does Deadpool 3.
Oh yeah, Deadpool 3 comes out this year. That one with the
Aliens Romulus comes out this year.
What comes out? Alien what?
Aliens Romulus.
Romulus. I don't even know what that is. That like part of the Alien franchise?
There isn't much known about director Fede Alvarez's addition to the Aliens canon. Frankly, we're happy it has a title, given that it was being referred to simply as Fede Alvarez's untitled Alien movie for months. But according to cast members Keely Spaney, Priscilla, I guess, this new film takes place between the events of the first film and James Cameron's action-packed 1986 sequel Aliens. And the latter create. Okay, that looks pretty cool.
You know, honestly, I've only ever seen the first one, but that first one was pretty fucking good. Like, a damn good movie, dude. I would go as far as to say it's probably like my second favorite horror movie of all time. right behind.
Speaking of horror movies,
Is it?
Joker comes out this year, part
Oh
2.
yeah, Joker 2. Isn't that's gonna be a musical? I heard.
What?
Yeah, it's gonna be a musical with like him and Harley Quinn. It's a crazy idea and a crazy concept, but honestly,
Interesting.
I'm down to clown. I'm down to clown with it. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I'm down for it. I just, in my opinion, I've never really seen a filmed musical I've enjoyed. Really,
You've never seen a film musical that you haven't enjoyed?
I have enjoyed. I really don't enjoy film musicals. Like,
You don't?
I like them
That's
live,
crazy.
but like, I've tried watching The Sound of Music, bro, and I do not like.
You can
It
like
does not
Tangled.
translate.
What?
Okay, Disney movies are the exception, but I feel like most people like Disney movies. It's just kind of a given. Even if you say,
Oh.
"Oh, I don't like Disney movies," you're just capping.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It was like Nightmare Before Christmas or like Lion King. Damn,
I'm honestly not a huge Lion King fan at all.
that's crazy. That's
Damn.
insane.
That's wild.
What about Nightmare Before Christmas?
Though I do like The Nightmare Before Christmas. I actually did see the Lion King live on Broadway of all things.
Really?
When I was like 6 or something, my grandma and my aunt took me to the live musical thing. Yeah, I have a couple pictures. I could probably dig through my mom's photos and get them.
That's kind
But
of
it's like
cool though.
it was cool. Like they did when I thought it was clever looking back on this, they didn't try to make the people look like animals because like obviously that's not going to work out so well. They just put them in like clothes that were like symbolize the animals they're being.
Oh yeah, I remember.
So it was pretty
seeing-
cool.
I remember seeing set photos of that, or like videos of it too, and I thought that was really cool and interesting. They're like, yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
They don't try to look like the character per se, but they try to look like a representation, an embodiment of it. It is very cool.
Exactly.
And I think it's the most successful Broadway musical of all time too. I think.
I believe so. Yes.
Hell yeah. Then I'm also trying to think what other. Now that you mention it, now I'm trying to think about what other musicals I've listened to where it's like, because I think Sound of Music is actually okay. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's great. I think it's good. It's okay. But I wouldn't say I love that movie, you know? So now you've opened up like this interesting dilemma where at first I was like, what? How could you say that, Johnny? But now I'm like,
So
man, is
my
there any
thought
musicals
process
I
is-
love?
I've seen pretty much all the classic like musicals, The Sound of Music, Annie Get Your Gun,
Oh, wait.
Oklahoma, not Ferris Wheel, whatever it is.
There's
What's the
one-
one on the
There's
merry-go-round?
one with not Ryan Reynolds. There's one with why am I blanking on his name? He's literally me guy.
Grease.
No, he plays Ken.
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling, yeah. La La Land, I think it's called.
I haven't seen La La Land, but I would be interested to see that. But my point being, I've seen all those old ones, and I've seen a couple of them live,
Mhm.
and every time the difference is like night and day. Like, for instance, do you like to listen to recorded classical music very much?
Not
No,
particularly.
Kind of mid, right? But if you're like at an orchestra, though, that shit slaps so hard, doesn't it? Suddenly, when you're there, it's like, wow. I don't care if you say this is dumb. This is actually ball. I could sit here and enjoy this whole thing for like an hour and a half. But like, it just doesn't engage me when it's like recorded the musical because it's just like I'd rather just watch a regular movie at that point.
Yeah, that's fair, honestly. I can.
But
definitely
like
see that
live, I
perspective.
love because I appreciate the art form so much more live. It's not that it's bad. It's just it's like a live recording of a song versus a studio recording of a song.
Real. I remember. I want to see La La Land specifically because a buddy of ours, said he really liked it. So like, I'm very interested. Plus, it has Ryan Gosling in it. So
I mean, that's the main reason why I want to see a Fall Guy.
But yeah, musicals. Now that I think about it, musicals are kind of. I don't want to say a dead genre of movies, but a very.
They're dying genre.
They're dying. Like there is not many of them, you know. What other? Yeah, I can't think of any. I literally cannot think of any other musicals. Nope. Man. Good riddance to musical, honestly.
Or
But,
real.
I think the only other thing I want to talk about before we get off is there's going to be a new Jurassic Park film in 2025.
Okay.
So what are you guys thinking so far? Because the only information we have, we don't have a director yet, but we do have a writer, and it's the Mr. Coep the guy who wrote the original Jurassic Park movie. It's a very interesting, I think. I think it's very interesting that it's even coming out so soon too. Like it was literally only announced like last year that they're making another one, and then for it to come out
You know, like, it
2024.
reminds me of like the nostalgia bait things where it's like everybody's falling back, like, because they're like constantly making things that are like. This is a generalization, but just go with it. People are constantly making things these days that are not well written and like crappy and poorly designed. Then like, oh no, it's not being successful, so they fall back on old IPs and franchises. I feel like that nostalgia thing that people are doing. They're bringing back everything: Ghostbusters, Star Wars, all that shit. I feel like they're kind of doing that, but like the original guy that did it and everything, he might be great and all, but like I feel like that's just because they're like, oh yeah, we've just driven this franchise to a place where most fans are mad at it, and
Yeah,
we're just trying to save like salvage
that is very
because
true.
he's got the magic touch. He'll magically fix the franchise and make everything okay now.
I don't know.
Which is like, guys, you guys did this.
I
If you
kind of
don't like it or whatever,
I kind of want them to stop making movies. Honestly, like that's my first initial reaction is like, I'd rather them just do something else for a while at least. Like I'd rather them make like a TV show or like the recent announcement of the Jurassic Park Survival. Like make video games. That is specifically the one thing I want them to do. Is I want more dinosaur video games, but like specifically Jurassic Park. I would love like I love the idea of the survival horror. What they're going. Well, it's not really survival horror. They said it was like survival action, adventure, something like that. But like, the idea of Jurassic Park survival is really fucking awesome, and definitely is like something I've wanted for a long time. And I don't, and I don't know if somebody has an idea for a Jurassic Park movie yet. You know, like a good one, like a good idea to continue with it forward. That's my biggest. That's my biggest fears because the last movie kind of fucking sucked, dude. I don't know if you've seen it.
they were so busy to see if they could. They were
You're
too
too
busy
busy.
to realize or to stop to think if they should.
Yeah, like that last movie really fucking sucked. Like I really did not like that movie, and I'm really upset about it because for me, there's a bunch of Jurassic Park films like I'm thinking about specifically like Jurassic World and Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, where even though they're not particularly good movies, I still find something to enjoy about them. You know, I still like them. But this one is just
Yeah.
fucking sucks. Like I can't find almost anything redeemable about it. It is like the worst parts of the new Jurassic World movies, just on like up to 11 and stripped out of everything I could have liked about them. So that's just my personal opinion. I'm very
No, no.
very
My
cautious
dad
about
just
it.
texted me. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, I'm very cautious about these new movies. Well, because it is planned to be a trilogy, so I'm very cautious about these new movies. I'm thinking about making a video about like what I would do with Jurassic Park trilogy or movie. And I've been thinking about it for a while, ever since Dominion came out. So I do think there is potential and ideas there. It just like you have to put effort in, you have to like actually care. And I don't know if there's anybody in Hollywood who gives a fuck about Jurassic Park as a franchise, you know?
Yeah.
It's like Star Wars. I don't know if there's anyone in Hollywood other than like George Lucas who cares about Star Wars.
Yeah. Probably it's like George Lucas and a few people that still love it,
It's like
but
George Lucas
most people just
and
aren't interested. Yeah.
what's his name who's done who was on
Dave
the Clone
Filoni.
Wars? Yeah, Dave Filoni. It's like those are the only real people who like give a shit about Star Wars. It feels like sometimes, but even then, they are not perfect, and they'll make crap every once in a while.
Yeah. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah. And I think we probably just cap the episode there.
All right, sounds good, broski.
That sounds good there. So if you guys have enjoyed this podcast, please make sure to leave a comment about what kind of toothpaste turns you on, and we'll definitely be able to share it on the next episode of the podcast. Until then, we're gonna go sleep together naked with each other. So bump
Like all straight men do.
as all straight men wants to. Bye bye.